Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to my weekly update. This week, I can only say it really feels like things are back to normal. I couldn't park in my local station car park this week, first time that's happened in over 2 years. And I had a particularly challenging trip to the Hay Festival last night. So it took me 4.5 hours to get there, should have taken three. And it took another nearly 5 hours to get home. So it really was a challenging journey, but it's always worth it to go to Hay, nestled in the foothills, if you like, of the Brecon Beacons, right on the Herefordshire Welsh border, in the most iconic part of the countryside. And the fact that it takes so long to get there is a sign of how deeply it is buried into the Welsh countryside, but it is stunning. It really is. And there's always a fabulous support team from NFU Cymru, and indeed many of our Herefordshire farmers out in force too, and a very diverse audience. It always is like that at Hay. It's a great festival if you ever get the chance to go. It runs until I think June the 5th. But it's probably about my fourth visit speaking at Hay. I remember going there first with Michael Gove, which was, of course, interesting, but lively discussion as ever last night, and a big focus on, where is the government's food strategy? It's a question that we're very much asking DEFRA. When will it be published? I'm assured by George Eustace and Victoria Prentice that it will be out in June, so watch this space. But if I could think of one word that was missing from what Henry Dimbleby pulled together with his proposals effectively for what a white paper should be looking at, it's that word resilience. We absolutely have to be looking at how do we build in resilience, both short, medium and longer term. And so it's needed. It's plenty late enough in the day in coming out, over 75 years since we've had any meaningful food policy. And of course, with the future on ELMS linked to the environment, I'm hoping food security has been a wake-up call to government, and that this white paper will set the trajectory for a very different discussion on how we do build resilience in food and farming. I've been really at opposite ends of the country this week, because I also had the opportunity to visit the Wakehurst project with colleagues from the NFU. So this is Treasury-based, DEFRA-funded work, and it really is looking at the value in totality of natural capital. So they are measuring carbon above and below ground. They've got a lot of work going on with pollinators. They're really focusing on measuring fungi, root structure, comparisons between grassland and trees. So a very, very important piece of work, and working alongside Natural England in how that is piloted in other parts of the country. The big piece that is missing for me is that this principle absolutely could be overlaid into the farmed landscape. It always amazes me as to why we separate these things. The team at Wakehurst really, really up for that. The scientists there very much up for overlaying what the work that they are doing onto a farmed landscape. And of course, this really fits in with something that I've been pushing hard on for a long time now. What I believe we have to see is a new economic model, if you like, for the countryside, and not just about creating a common currency in the carbon market, but really looking at new trades, biodiversity, water quality. The money, effectively, the trillions of green finance that circulates above our heads, it has to hit the ground. I see more and more pressure put on our members, and ultimately we've got to create the principle of stacking and allowing these new trades to develop. But they cannot just be allowed to develop on their own. They really do need defining. So we've worked across all sectors, all land areas, bringing commonality of thought, if you like, into what we would like to see as environmental principles in these markets, governance principles for trading. There's a real hunger out there to know what is needed, and I'm very confident that we have a very good position, if you like, for what the future should look like. But we must define where we are right now, particularly the carbon market. It's sort of taking off. It's what I have referred to rather crudely as shark-infested waters, but my goodness, does it need some definition. And above all else, we have to establish a common currency here in Great Britain, and we will need to establish a common currency globally as well. And just in conclusion, I can't not mention the Queen's Platinum Jubilee next week. We've been very involved in the Queen's Green Canopy project, which has been all about planting trees on our farms. We've been really sort of spreading the word, if you like, and working closely with the Palace on how we get as many farmers involved in that project as possible. I will be going to a beacon lighting ceremony Thursday next week, and I'm sure you'll be involved in many different ways too. But my goodness, she has been just the most amazing personality, leader, 70 years on the throne. It's been the most remarkable journey, and I should be absolutely delighted to be giving her my full support. Anyway, as ever, please do take care, look after yourselves, and I very much look forward to speaking to you again next week. Thanks.